read this morning that Boris Johnson is apparently considering a universal credit, or an improved form of universal credit, for all people to be able to apply for should they fall on financial hard times because of the virus. It's like I said yesterday, Boris Johnson is going to have to roll out some socialist policies, and he's not going to like it. His voters are not going to like it, but it's going to have to happen. Because in situations like this, everybody is a socialist. It's as simple as that. People want to take care of the vulnerable, the elderly, the disabled. They want care packages if they run out of things at home to eat with. So there's going to have to be some very socialist policies from this government, whether they like it or not. And we need to not forget that Boris Johnson basically said he would happily see thousands of people die as long as we let this virus roll out and take its course. Let's not remember that. Let's not forget that. And his number one advisor actually said that rich people were rich because they're genetically superior, and poor people are poor because they're inferior. That's an actual statement from Dominic Cummings. So let's not go soft on Boris and his government. Let's not forget their history. But he's basically he's having to roll out these socialist policies now, things that weren't perceptible in his eyes before. It's almost as if when it's something that the rich can get, something contagious, they're all for socialism. When it's something like homelessness, like hunger, like poverty, that people like Boris Johnson grew up with no risk of, they don't want socialism. They don't want food packages and care packages and universal credit that actually works and is actually pliable. They don't care about any of that because they can't catch homelessness. You can't catch poverty unless you're in the lower stratosphere of society. When you're raised and brought up in Eton and told you're the best of the best and you're going to be the next Prime Minister and you're going to be the next generation of world leaders, you grow up in sort of a bubble where you don't perceive the lives of millions of people. You don't perceive the lives of the working masses who could easily, most people are one payslip away from poverty. And Boris Johnson and the Conservatives realised that they're never, ever, ever going to be one payslip away from homelessness or poverty. Now, of course, I would never blame somebody for the circumstances of their birth. But when you're raised in that bubble, you're raised to believe you're better than everybody else. You're raised to believe that you are supreme, you are superior, and that other people below you are inferior, and it's a natural order of things. When, of course, natural order of things can be changed. If you look at food chains, if you're into your science, if you look at food chains change all the time. It was only until very, very recently that humans jumped to the top of that food chain with the Industrial Revolution and all that kind of stuff, and agriculture. But before that, we were firmly in the middle. So natural orders, they change, they shift. And I think that Boris Johnson and his mates realised that coronavirus, hey, Tories can catch that. So we better actually roll out some actual proper measures, such as closing down the schools, closing down public sectors. Potentially we're hearing whispers of the whole country being on lockdown as of tomorrow. But that's just hearsay. I'm not going to put anything into that until it's actually confirmed. It's almost as if he's trying now to stop this. And let's not forget that while he's announced rent breaks, mortgage holidays, and while he's announced that schools will close and things like this, doesn't make him any less of a prick. Because he only announced these things after extreme pressure from people like Jeremy Corbyn and the public at large. He's only announced these things after other countries are well ahead of the curve and they've gone and done it already, and they've been closed down for days now. And he doesn't want to damage his reputation anymore. He's realised that, or somebody's whispered in his ear and told him, this is seriously harming your image. Seriously. Where are all the Boris supporters now? People that were cheering for him. Where are they? They're oddly quiet on social media and other platforms. Where are they? They're not cheering for him anymore because he's damaged his reputation with this dithering and delay where he actively basically said that he would see thousands of people die because he wants to just let this coronavirus run its course. So what can I say? The government is turning socialist, and it's because of this coronavirus. And it just goes to show that when we have times of need, we need socialism. We need it. It's just that need, in the eyes of the Tories and the right-wingers, doesn't extend to homelessness, to food shortages, to poverty. It only extends to things that they can catch, such as the coronavirus. And when you catch something like that, especially if you're over a certain age, like a lot of Tories are, it can be deadly. So they want to cull the spread of the disease, and they want to shut down basically the country because they don't want to catch it. I mean, if all else fails, the poor working people, if they have to self-isolate and have to lose wages, they can always go out and hunt poor people, I suppose. So thanks for watching. I shall see you next time.